Welcome to Rev Reads. I think I might be preparing to make a fool of myself, but maybe people will enjoy that. Rev Reads is beginning a new partnership affiliation with Logos Bible Software. And I'm going to be promoting my books now to be purchased on Logos on their format and their digital books and encouraging people to use the Bible software. But the thing is, I've never used it before. When I was in seminary, Bible Works came and pitched their software to our school. I put down a few $100s and bought Bible Works, and I have been using it exclusively in ministry for the last 18 years. But it's a little dated at this point, and someone from Logos got in touch with me and asked me if I'd be willing to work with them. And I'm like, well, let's dive in and try it out. So I've never been on this software before. A couple of days ago, I downloaded it onto my computer and didn't log in because this is something that I've always wanted to see someone do. And now that I'm the one who's going to do it, since I wanted to see someone else do it, I'm slightly terrified by it. I wanted to see someone log into this software and experience it for the first time to see if it looks like it is intuitive, something that you could figure out all on your own. I don't want to see I got 20 hours of training with this expert in the software and now I know how to use all the bells and whistles for it. I want to see someone just look at it totally new, very first time, and to see what they would have to say about it looking at it for the very first time. And my hope is, I'm going to talk to the Logos people about this, so I didn't say this is my hope, this is what I know is going to happen. We'll end up having an expert or two on the software come on to Rev Reads. They will educate me live on here for you guys to see, to show me how to use it better, how to use it well in my study and my sermon prep. So we'll have fun together learning how to use this. So if you've never used the software before, but you've been thinking about diving in, but you were like, maybe it's going to be too much for me, this would probably be a good time for you to start and to subscribe to Logos yourself, because you can walk through this journey with me and we can learn how to use it together. So you'll be a newbie just like me. And if you haven't subscribed to Logos yet, right now they're working mostly on a subscription package to use all the Bible software tools. You can get 2 months free by using the link that's in the description on this video. I will type that link in the comments so that you can see that there, and we'll be able to, you can get that discount and just try it out for 2 months if you want to, and you can dive in for the first time on there for it. Although now that I look at what I shared the wrong link. I shared the link for the live stream and not the link for Logos. So let's get on here and do this. I'm not good at live things. So, which is why I don't do it very often, but this should be, there's the Logos link. So here we are. I'm going to be just messing around, seeing what I think about it. So the first thing I got to say is that I didn't like about it is, so I'm starting right off with something I immediately don't like about it before I even get into it. And that is when they give you the list of Bible translations to choose as your primary translation. I did not like that the New King James Version wasn't one of the set Bible translations right at the beginning, as you can see in the middle of the screen there. Let me make that even bigger. In the middle of the screen there, you can see that this Bible translation that's set is the Logos. Is the Christian Standard Bible translation. I wanted it to be New King James. They have their options there on the screen. They also don't have the 95 New American Standard Bible. So you can see that there's several Bibles for them to choose from, but I was a little dismayed that they didn't have two of the top three Bibles that I want, which would be the New King James Version and the New American Standard Version. So they start right off with this list here. I selected the Christian Standard Bible. That's the one I use the most, but they have the ESV, King James Version, the Lexham English Bible, American Standard Version, close, but not the 95. So I looked online, though, before doing that. It looks like you can get the New King James Version for $9.95, and hopefully if I bought that, I'd be able to set that as my top Bible. So just keep that in mind. Your top Bible might not be on there and you might need to choose it, but hopefully you can set that on there. So looking at just coming in here for the first time, like I said, I'm looking at this. I've never seen any of this before. Uh, Good search bar right at the top. Ooh, a free book just for you. I can claim a free book as soon as I log in. I like that. So, and I clicked on it and it sent me to another link that you guys can't see on your screen to download puzzling passages in Paul. So, and I immediately got it, put it in my cart, and I have already got that free book from them. So, wow, that was super quick and super easy and simple. So, that was that was nice. I did not realize that coming into Logos, I would immediately download a free book, and there it is. So, way to get my enjoyment right there out of that. I don't know anything about that book, but now I guess it's mine on there. Okay, so they asked me what I want to do: personal study, group Bible study, original language study, write a sermon. Um, and then pick up where I left off, which I assume is just going to be the standard look on there. Getting started, which will be things that I will definitely need to use, videos, webinars, hopefully more on using Logos and technical support. Some more exploring on there. It looks like we have a verse of the day, Romans 15:30. I appeal to you, brethren, by our Lord Jesus Christ and by the love of the Spirit, to strive together with me in your prayers to God on my behalf. Good verse. And if you could pray on my behalf, I would love that as well. They have a tutor there for teaching Hebrew right at the beginning. And we also have sale coming up in the end of June, 2 days for their blue sale to purchase some more inexpensive books and to grow your library cheaper. I do want to look more into these legacy library options to see what that looks like. Lots of stuff basically on the front page on things that you can pre-order, purchase, and add to your library. But let's just say personal study. I don't know. What am I studying? I'm studying Ephesians right now in my church. So we'll say Ephesians 2 will be what I'll be studying next week. So I just click Ephesians 2 and boom. Wow. That's a lot of stuff that comes right up there. So let's see what we got. We have the translation in the Christian Standard Bible of all of Ephesians chapter 2. I can see the first column of just the translation and then a bunch of stuff moving over on my right. Some insights from something with Faith Life. I think that's a Southern Baptist resource, which would make sense because I'm using the Christian Standard Bible. And then on the right, the Faith Study Bible. So I have the Faith Study Bible notes on Ephesians 2. I scrolled up way too far and went all the way to Ephesians 1. So I have the Faith Study Bible notes. I'm going to guess I can change that to the Ancient Faith Study Bible notes, ESV Global Study Bible notes. And this seems to be pretty easy to move around between all these various study Bible notes, which seems to be really nice there as far as basically figuring out about it. And then I have commentaries on the passage. What commentaries are just going to come with this? We have the commentary, critical and explanatory of the whole Bible. Not sure what commentary that is. Man, these are small. How do I make this the whole? Is there a way to maximize this to make this the whole page? See, now I know why nobody hopped in without ever having looked at this before, because you feel like an idiot. And I'm sure there's people sitting there being like, oh, you can just expand it by clicking here or clicking there. And I really thought that up and down would have expanded that into the whole page. So you got the Holman commentary, you got the Tyndale commentary, the Lexon context commentary, the evangelical commentary on the Bible, Tony Evans Bible commentaries on here, Matthew Poole's commentary. Ooh, the Lexham Geographic commentary, which I really like, and that would be really helpful if that is linked to individual passages where you have that. Oh, that's a good one. And I gotta say, I should also say the version of Logos that I am using is the the higher end subscription package plan. I am using the max plan. So this is the max subscription. So I'm sure all of these commentaries won't be available on the lower level subscription plans. But from what I saw, there are so many commentaries and books on the max plan that if you can afford to do it, it's got to be what you do. Lexham Geographic, the Message Commentary series. Wow, that's a pretty chunky list of commentaries right off the bat without needing to add anything on there. So, one thing if you're doing personal study, really easy to pull up the passage, to have the study Bible notes for the passage, and then also to have various commentaries that you're going to use right there. So, that seemed to be pretty easy to use. So, go back to the original page, go back to the first home page on the dashboard, and let's click original language and see. So, this again, I'm probably gonna look dumb looking at the original language stuff for the first time because I remember when I learned Bible Works, there were like some super basic things to do on it that I couldn't figure out without somebody showing me how to do it. So what happens if we click a study in the original language? So first you get the Greek text on your left, and then you have, is this going to be okay? So I'm assuming that below that is my lexicons that I have. And so we have a few options of lexicons. Oh, I like that list of lexicons for just coming free on there. Lexham Research Lexicon, which I love Lexham stuff, so I probably didn't use it on there a lot. So I just clicked on Necros and it changed it to that. Let's Cosmos, just clicked on that, and it shows me the forms. I mean, it shows me the insight on that. So that's not all that different from Bible Works to click on a word and get that. Um, let's see. The one thing I like about Bible Works is if you just hovered over a word, it would tell you the syntax of it. It tell you the form. Okay, so I see that it's from Cosmos, noun, genitive, singular, masculine. And then it gives me the basic world. Does it? Let's see another verb, aorist, active, indicative, second person plural, to walk. So yeah, that's stuff that I love to have on there because I don't have time to think through all of this every time I'm doing this study. So sometimes I just need this stuff quick and allow. So I click on the word and it changes to it in the lexicon. And then on the right, I have the Lexham Theological Word Book. I have the fact book on Ephesians 2:2. That does not seem to be very helpful for me, but that look up on the theological workbook. I probably will not use that a ton for the theological workbook. I'm not a huge fan of theological dictionaries. I think sometimes they add in a little bit too much theology when I want more just basic word definitions. Um, this will give me an outline on Ephesians 2 from the Holman commentary. Okay, that's all right, but so then my question is, and I might need help on this, like how do you search? So I just right clicked on Necros. And is there a way to that just tells me a bunch about the word? And I have no idea how to do a search on that word. I probably not much of a point in trying to to figure. Oh, look up? Nope. Okay, so I'll need to learn how to search all the uses of a Greek word, both in its form and also in its lemma. try to figure out how to do either one of those to see like all the uses of necros in the New Testament. Um, like they might show you that in the Lexham. Looks like it might be right in the Lexham commentary there, but no, not bad. This is no worse than Bible Works. I'm be curious to see if they had one thing I always wanted in Bible Works they didn't have was to see the uh was to see the manuscript issue, like the textual criticisms type stuff, to see what manuscripts it's used in. They did not have that good in Bible Works. I would love to know if that is available here, if they have and also like what different Greek texts do they have? Do they have a majority text Greek text? Do they have um do they have is it just the critical text? Like what am I looking at here even for what Greek texts are available on here and how do I change them? I think it will. I think they have it set up so I can figure all this stuff out if I just get a little bit of insight and help from some people. But um, oh, I like being able to do that. What's this little copy? Visual copy. Oh, there's media that comes up if you click on that little highlighter. Not sure what this media is or does. I'm not going to dive into that any deeper. But I think I like it. Um, I think I need to learn a lot more. I've probably said 1,000 times in this video while I've been looking at this stuff, so I apologize for my filler words. This probably is like the least interesting thing I've ever put on RevReads. But so the Greek text isn't bad. So clicking on the library on the left-hand side, that shows me the books that I have in my library, I would guess. 817 books come with the Logos Max subscription. So it looks like you have Spurgeon's commentary series, you have the Lexham Research commentary, 300 quotations from preachers in different eras in church history, Holman commentary series, Albert Barnes notes on the Bible, Marshall Howard commentaries, all the series, not really sure what that is. The American Journal of Theology, T&T Clark Bible Study Guides. I've not used those. Ooh, the Evangelical Exegetical Commentary. So I'm next week I'm reviewing the Evangelical Exegetical Commentary on First and Second Kings by Oswalt. I have it behind me right here on my bookshelf. I'm going to review Oswalt's First and Second Kings commentary in that series, and it is awesome. It is excellent. So that's great to see that commentary series in here. And it's pricey. It's a pricey series. Well, thought I'd show my face for a second, but I'm like, I think you'd rather see what's on. I'd rather see what's on the screen. Have that be bigger. So some good commentaries, Bible illustration books, Bible study magazine. I did not even know there was a Bible study magazine. A lot of famous faces on that magazine. Okay, we got some Bible journals, uh, more commentaries, the Cambridge Bible for School commentaries. So lots of resources on here. If you used, it definitely you get your money's worth having this. The Evangelical Biblical Theology Commentary. Yeah, this is some pricey stuff. So I can see why it's charged what it is. So I think if you just wanted to use it for a reader, it'd probably be fine. I guess I should pull up one of these commentaries. Oh, Oh, Lexham Research Commentary, Second Thessalonians. It's on this bottom screen here. So double clicking on that pulls up a new tab. I can pull that up this way and pull this up over. There are, ooh, I liked how you can hover over the link of scripture and it'll pull the passage up for you. Yeah, no, not bad reading format. I'd probably rather read on this. It looks like with the ability to, look at the links on it would probably be easier to read than my Kindle. Although if I'm going to read a digital book, I prefer to use it on the Kindle screen. But this isn't bad. But the number of resources is actually pretty large. I didn't realize you'd have 817 books right off the bat with a subscription, and among them about 20, 25 Bibles. And you got the Greek text on there. So that's pretty good. There's just a couple of things that aren't intuitive that I thought they might be, which is like picking the bottom left block and making this block take up the whole screen. Um, I'm just surprised that like double clicking on one of these doesn't make it full screen. So that's I'm of course I'm deleting the help center, which is probably what I need up more than anything else. Um, yeah, so I've no idea how to I. Oh well, hold on, Necros. Oh, so if I just type it with the English typing, it's going to come up. If I click on it, I wonder if this is all the uses of Necros in the New Testament in this list here. It might be, but it is just Necros. I'm only getting, the one form. So I, how to search. Um, but I'm sure it's easily able to do to search just on the form, to not search on the form and to get all the uses of Necros in every form. I'm sure that is easily able to do. And if there's anybody from is that there's anybody watching this from Logos, they're probably like, that's so easy to do. Thank you, Jaden, for coming on and saying that Jesus loves me. I need a lot of Jesus's love right now. I feel like so dumb, and actually doing this live, I'm like, man, I know why people don't do this live for the first time, because you feel like I'll come back and put my face on the screen. I feel so dumb right now at the moment because like I'm looking at this and I don't know how to use these things. But the one thing that is nice about it is I would say that if you just want to do basic Bible study, I think you can instantly do that. Like because when I went on the dashboard and I clicked on the personal study, you could pull up any passage, John 3, and then boom, you're instantly in John chapter 3 in your preferred translation. The one thing I want to figure out how to do that you can do in Bible Works, I would love to easily be able to do, is on this translation bar. I would like it to have John 3:1 in the CSB, in the New King James Version, in the New American Standard Version, in the English Standard Version, and then the Greek text too, in both the critical text and the Byzantine text. Like I'd love John 3:1 in all of those. And I would guess that there is a way to see that, but I don't know I don't know how to do that at this point. But it is cool that you have John 3 there. You instantly have the Bible study notes for all of these different study Bibles. And then you also have the commentaries there for all of these different commentaries on John chapter 3. And it's not just like they're bad commentaries, the free eSword ones. They got some good ones on there. I really appreciate that Lexham is putting all of their real pricey high-end commentaries for free on Logos, that it's included in the subscription, because they're really high end. They're great commentaries. And so to have them included in there, I think is great. So Uh, so yeah, for that, it's easy right off the bat. Pulling up individual books to read, easy right off the bat, takes no difficulty in that. Clicking on documents, not really sure what the documents are. I'm pretty sure I could just make up my own documents somehow if I know how to do it at some point, or maybe they're things that other people have made up. I know the workflows and guides are things that other users have made up. I saw somebody talking about that before, but yeah, it's. I thought it might be more difficult to use than it is, and if that's the case, I was going to be like, "This is going to be total awful," but it's not bad. There are some things that I'm really hoping that you can do that I haven't seen here yet. And the two big things is I want to figure out how to search better in Greek and Hebrew. I was expecting not to figure that out in this video. So I gotta say, even though I can't figure it out now, I'm comfortable with not being able to figure that out. I will have another video where someone will come on from Logos and we will show you how to do that and get that so that you can figure out how to do that yourself. But there's a bunch of stuff in here, and most of it is easily accessible. Like I said, the one thing that I wish I could figure out how to do, because I think it would be nice to see, because I think it would show you all their translations right on the screen, is that ability to have John 3:1 or 3:2 in all the translations available, one after the other, just down on this column. Because one thing I like about Bible Works is I like to, in my sermon prep, read the passage I'm going to preach on in, like, five, six, 10, translations, whatever. Some passages, it varies more for seeing it in different translations. But then I like to have the Greek and the Hebrew right next to all those English translations on the screen at the same time, one on top of the other, and to really make comparisons of looking at them while I'm studying. So if I needed to flip back and forth from the Greek to the English, from the Hebrew to the English, that might annoy me a little bit at first. So hopefully there is a way to, stack the Greek right with the English. But one thing that is nice is the ability to have the commentaries right there. If you weren't seeing it earlier, they have the Lexham Geographic commentary on here, which I think is a great resource, but it doesn't cover or add to every passage in the Bible, because obviously geography doesn't impact every passage in the Bible. But to have that commentary linked to the passage you're studying, I think would be really helpful, because then you can quickly see whether it matters for what you're looking at. So, by clicking on that link, like, it shows you that in chapter 34 of the Lexham Geographic Commentary, here are the passages that come to it. There's one that's in John 3:22 to 4:3. So obviously it's not about Jesus and Nicodemus in John 1, but it occurs later on. And then I could read that article on it, where I got the geographic commentary sitting on my bookshelf, but the only time I use it is to prep for the whole book. I'll read through the commentary portion on that, but I won't use it very much in the midst of my study. But having it here on Logos, suddenly this resource that I wouldn't use in the midst of my study, I'll probably use maybe on a more weekly basis if I have passages linked to it. So I think it seems pretty sharp, seems pretty easy to use. I'm happy with it. I want to learn a lot more on how to use it. So if you have any thoughts on Logos, just let me know. Put them in the chats of what you think about it. And hopefully this can help more with all of our Bible studies in looking into the Word of God. So there's me diving into the personal study, original language. Let's click on write a sermon and see what happens. We'll do Ephesians 2 again. I feel like I would never use write the sermon, even though I'm writing sermons every week. So, okay, so you actually type the sermon into the software, which is interesting. I did not even consider that being an option or something that I would do. So I'll have to try that. I'll have to try writing a sermon and in the software and seeing what it's like. 'Cause right now I type my sermons out in in Word, and then go back and forth to that. So I'll have to see. What is that? So yeah, so it seems like a good Bible searching software, and it'll be interesting what how I feel about the putting your notes in there. So um, we'll go from there. But so there's my overview. I've been on here for about half an hour, so it's probably time to get off. Most people are probably like, "Ah, why are you still talking about this?" So thank you for everybody who's tuned in, who has watched. I hope it's been beneficial for some people to know what it would look like to go in there for the first time. The next time I live stream, it will not be stupid me telling you about the Bible software, but we'll get somebody who knows the nuts and bolts, and I'll be asking him, how do we search some things, and hopefully he'll be able to give me a little bit of insight into how to use this better. Again, so if you saw this and you thought this would be helpful and good for you in your Bible reading and in your context, use the link that I have in the description of this video, also the link that I put in the comments, to subscribe to and get your first 60 days for free. And let me know how you use this and if you enjoy reading books on the computer and on your phone. And we'll continue our journey along. So thanks a lot for watching and for being